and went on to St. Thomas College majoring in chemistry. He says he was inspired, as many were, by Brother Martin. After 2 years at St. Thomas, Dave transferred to the University of Minnesota, where he studied chemical engineering. The most important thing that happened at the U of M is that he met his wife, Barb. The two went on to graduate with bachelor's degrees in 1978 and moved to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to pursue PhDs in chemical engineering. They married that August in 1979. Dave graduated in 1983 and went on to work at 3M. He had a very successful career there, retiring in 2017 after 34 years. During that time, he advanced the technical ladder to the rank of corporate scientist, the highest level of the technical ladder. He was inducted into the Carleton Society at 3M in 2012, recognizing the financial impact of his contributions to the company, as well as his mentorship and teaching of other employees. Dave's specialty is pressure-sensitive adhesives, also known as a roll of tape. In doing my research, it said on the 3M website that induction into the Carleton Society at 3M is harder than being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. I assume that was clearly written by a 3M scientist. So Dave is smart, but that is not all. In fact, his sister sent us an email, Joanne sent us an email that described Dave as 100% his mother Marlene's favorite. So much so that Dave could do no wrong. She described a time when Dave drove Joanne to school and was involved in an accident. Joanne claims that Marlene yelled at her because Dave would not have gotten into that position if she had not needed to go to school. Being smart and his mother's favorite, Dave has been active in several volunteer roles as well. He's served in leadership positions of the Boy Scouts of America, Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity, the 3M Language Society, and with his church. Dave loves teaching and continues to do so by offering short courses on adhesives. In fact, he is in Pennsylvania tonight teaching. So let's hear it for another outstanding alumni scientist. Accepting the Benedictine Award for Dave is his wife, Barb Yarusso.
First thing I have to note is a little weird, after teaching here for 9 years, to be on this side of the cafeteria and not telling you what to do with your trays and cleaning up your tables. I don't know about Western Dakota, but West Dakota, but Dave and I once did find the elusive East St. Paul. Somehow it hitched a ride up to Manitoba. So I'm not used to having a speech written out. But of course, this is Dave's words, not mine, so forgive me that I'm going to be mostly reading from what Dave wrote. I'm honored to receive this award, and I want to thank Hill-Marie for this recognition. I'm sorry I couldn't be here tonight. I'm in Philadelphia teaching a course about adhesives. I'm thankful my wife Barb can be there to accept the award and offer these comments. I'm also glad my mother Marlene can be there, along with my brother Dan, my brother John, and his wife Rochelle, my sister Diane, and her husband John. You've honored me with the Benedictine Award, and I've also invited a very special Benedictine sister in my life, my Aunt Laverne, a member of the Benedictine community of St. Paul's Monastery. My mother's sister Laverne was a big part of our lives, frequently vacationing with us at Serpent Lake in the summer and present at most Christmas gatherings. She's been a great example to me of what it means to live a life of service and commitment to the gospel. Although it wasn't there while I was a student, I really appreciated seeing the Benedictine motto, "All guests welcomed as Christ," on the sign out front while my own children were students at Hill-Marie. When I think back to my days at Hill-Marie, the first thing I think about are the academic subjects and outstanding teachers that prepared me well for my future career. However, the reinforcement of Christian values and how we behave toward others and how we view our role in the world were equally important. These values are part of what moves me to volunteer in the ministries of our church, with Habitat for Humanity, and with the Boy Scouts of America. Now, Dave's not very good at tooting his own horn, so I made him put those in. I do want to acknowledge a few outstanding teachers and classes I had at Hill-Marie that were especially important for my success in my career as a research scientist at 3M. Brother Arnold was an outstanding teacher of algebra and trigonometry, and one of the most calm and gentle people I have ever known. His work, followed by Kent Title's calculus class, prepared me very well for the mathematical rigor required for my chemical engineering degree at the University of Minnesota. And Kent's brother, Michael, is here. There he is. And Mike was a classmate of Dave's in the class of 74. And those guys started their freshman year at Hill High School. And so they were part of the big move over to the joint school here. My interest in chemistry can definitely be linked to the inspiration provided by Brother Martin. I will never forget our first day in his class. He stood at the front of the room in his lab coat and glasses with a table full of beakers and vials of unknown substances. Without saying anything, he started pouring things together. At first, it was dry ice and colored water and some liquid nitrogen, producing fogs that rolled down off the table and out along the floor toward us. He suddenly looked up and said emphatically, "This isn't chemistry," and swept everything aside. Then he started pouring other things together. 2 clear liquids that foamed up out of the beakers into a black snake. Others that flamed and smoked and changed color. By the time he was done, smoke and smells wafted through the room. With a gleam in his eye, he looked out at us and said with a grin, "This is chemistry." This is how Brother Martin introduced the difference between physical and chemical changes. How could I not want to study chemistry after that? And so Dave did that. He went to St. Thomas and majored in chemistry. Then he transferred to the university to major in chemical engineering so he wouldn't have to go to graduate school. Then he went to graduate school anyway. And I had the good fortune of acquiring Brother Martin's book of laboratory demonstrations from him. And Brother Martin is still working. He's in the Philippines, and he works with a school. He does all of the ordering of their lab equipment, and he is kind of a chief greeter for all of the kids. If you want to catch up with him, he's on Facebook. It is also important for scientists to be able to communicate and to speak in public, and I need to recognize my English teacher, Mrs. Eileen O'Dean, who also coached our tiny speech team. She helped me develop the skills and confidence that were very useful to me as I started speaking and teaching within 3M and through professional societies like the Adhesives and Sealants Council, where I am now. I truly appreciate the firm grounding I received in my education from Hill Murray, and I am pleased to see it continue to do so for future generations. Thank you very much.